Hello friends! With the Making It Rain event underway, everyone is looking to maximize their MGP gain to utilize that sweet plus 50% bonus. But what exactly is the most efficient way to get these points? Well, that's what I'll be quickly going over today. But first, public service announcement. This NPC is where you get the discounted items. The regular vendor still sells the items at the regular price. Please don't miss the discount. Maximizing our MGP gain. First and foremost, make sure your free company has the Jackpot 2 or Jackpot Free buff up. These are a plus 10% and plus 15% MGP bonus respectively. If you do not have an FC buff up or aren't using Jackpot Free, I'd also advise using your squadrons to collect Gold Saucer VIP cards. This is a plus 15% bonus for 2 hours. Why not use these with Jackpot Free? Because the buffs do not stack. Most FCs will be using Jackpot 2 though. Regardless of if you have Jackpot 2, Free or the VIP card, just to make sure one of them is up. An extra 10 or 15% on top of that 50% is pretty nice. So when farming, step 1 and the most obvious step, do your mini cactpots every day and make sure to do the jumbo cactpot every week. You may get lucky. Step 2, do your challenge log every week. The jackpot or VIP buff won't affect this, but the event 50% will. Most of the challenge log is also very quick to do with little to no effort. The Lord of Verminion one, for example, can be done very quickly by simply running the Stage 4 Little Big Beast challenge. Just spam your strongest minion and you'll be done before you know it. 5 runs of these should take you 8 minutes at worst. 40,500 MGP for 8 minutes. Pretty nice. Also, skip the Mahjong one. Those games take a while. Step 3. There are Lord of Verminion and Triple Triad tournaments that happen roughly once a week. Participate in all of these. You don't even have to play against players in them. For Lord of Verminion, queuing for Master Tournament will put you against AI, and you can challenge any of the NPCs in the Battle Hall for Triple Triad Tournament points. So long as you play at least 1 round in the tournaments, you will get the participation reward, which is pretty nice for doing practically nothing. However, obviously the higher you rank, the higher your reward, and playing against players is the only way to really get a decent rank. Make a note of when the tournament ends and make sure to pick up your reward while you've got the additional FC or VIP card buff up. But those are the weekly stuff. What about actual farming? Well, you could do gates when they're up, but they're not the best MGP farm because 1, they only show up once every 20 minutes, and 2, there's now a queue to get into some of them since everyone is trying to run them. So the MGP gained per second on these are not so great. What about the mini games? Beyond getting the challenge log done, there's only one that is worth your time. The MGP gain on the rest of them is very low for the time investment. For the best farm, there are only 2 real contenders. The Out on a Limb minigame and Triple Triad farming. Let's first talk about Out on a Limb. This is the only minigame with a decent MGP payout. But what is that payout? Well, on average, you should be getting 500 points per win before the bonuses. Thus, after a 65% bonus, you will get 825 points per win. Each out on a limb attempt takes roughly 80 seconds, since we have to include picking a difficulty and the time between double downs. But let's be generous and say it takes 75 seconds. Thus, simply dividing 825 MGP by 75 seconds gives us 11 MGP per second. For triple triad farming, you'll be challenging Vasily Hilua, located in New Gridania at the Adder's Nest. He is one of the highest MGP payouts and he is incredibly easy to beat. Playing fast-ish, the start of one match to the start of another will take roughly 35 seconds. But let's be mean and say 40 seconds. You should win each time, and each win nets you 182 MGP after a 65% bonus. But we have to subtract the match fee, which is 30 MGP. Thus it's actually 152 per win. 152 divided by 40 gives us a rather pathetic 3.8 MGP per second. So obviously out on the limb wins, right? Well, no. We did not account for the cards he drops. Vasily Hilua drops cards worth 500, 500, 800 and 1500 MGP respectively. Now I could just use the data I got while I was farming this guy, but that sample size wouldn't be great and is heavily affected by variance. So instead I'll be using arrtripletriad.com. We can scroll down and see a bunch of people who said how many times they won and what dropped. Now, assuming they're not lying, we can use this data. We'll only use the more recent ones since a lot of them are before the triple triad card drop rate buff. So, taking a good number of the comments, we can find that in 353 wins, there were 53 Papaimo and Yida cards, 41 Good King Mughal cards, 85 Ramu cards, and 20 Khan-e Senna cards. Calculating the average MGP value for the cards per win is this, or 410.8. Thus, adding in the MGP from winning, you can expect 562.8 MGP per win. Going back, we win once every 40 seconds. 562.8 divided by 40 gives us 14.1 MGP per second. 3.1 MGP per second more than out on the limb. And remember, we were quite mean to the time here, so it's likely that the MGP per second is even higher in reality. And just because I can, here is the results from when I played against him. Obviously I didn't play 353 times, I only played 26 games against him. Yes, it's anecdotal and has a lot of variance problems, but it's fun to see my results. 20.4 MGP per second. Quite a significant amount better than doing out on the limb. But yes, again, I was likely affected by high variance. Even so, I do believe this is the current best MGP farm in the game. Funny enough, the event bonus does not increase the sell value of these cards, and that's where the vast majority of the MGP comes from. So this farm is always available. But yeah, with that I'll bring my Making It Rain MGP farm guide to a close. I hope this helps some people find the best route to farming for their own MGP, on their quest to get the greatest mount ever, the Sabotender Emperador, the mount with the squeaks of pure happiness. But for now, goodbye my friends, and have a great day.